All right, hey, everyone listening, and welcome back. In this deep dive, we're going to be looking at something that's really important for all you future policymakers out there, something you'll definitely be encountering on your UPSC journey, and that's India's defense sector.
It's a vast and complex field for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And today we're going to zero in on one very, very key player, the DRDO.
Ah, yes, the Defense Research and Development Organization, a true giant in India's defense landscape.
They really are, and they just celebrated a pretty big milestone recently.
Oh, you mean their 67th Foundation Day?
Exactly. And this year's celebration had a special focus, a tribute to the legendary Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam.
The Missile Man of India. A fitting tribute considering his monumental contributions to India's defense capabilities.
Absolutely, and we will definitely get to Dr. Kalam's incredible legacy later on. But first, I think we need to lay the groundwork by understanding the DRDO itself.
A good place to start, for sure. I mean, the DRDO has been around for a while, but its origins, they go back to a very specific moment in India's history.
Oh, okay. So take us back then. Tell us, how did this powerhouse of defense research come to be?
Well, picture this. 1958, newly independent India. The need to build self-reliance in defense was paramount.
Makes sense, yeah.
And that's where the DRDO comes in. It was formed by merging three existing organizations.
Three organizations.
Yeah, they brought together the best minds from the Army, the Directorate of Technical Development and Production, and the Defense Science Organization.
Ah, so it was about consolidating expertise right from the start.
Exactly. And from those early days, they had just 10 labs to start with.
10 labs, wow.
Yeah, fast forward to today, and the DRDO boasts a pretty impressive network. They have 41 labs now.
41, wow.
Yeah, and 5 DYSLs. That's Defense Technology Development Steering Committees. Each one focuses on specific areas of defense technology.
I see. So they've really grown, huh? And speaking of growth, their motto, Bellagio Mulam Vigianum, strength lies in science. That seems to have guided their work, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. It's at the core of everything they do. And it's been crucial in achieving their primary mission of self-reliance in critical defense technologies. And that ties directly into India's strategic autonomy and the big push for Make in India in the defense sector.
Because, if you're always relying on other countries for your weapons, you're always at someone else's mercy.
Exactly. You're vulnerable. So developing indigenous defense technologies is crucial for a nation like India to chart its own course.
So how does the DRDO manage such a massive research undertaking? I mean, we're talking about, 41 labs, 5 committees, a whole range of technologies.
It's quite a complex operation for sure, but they've got it. They've got it structured in a way that makes sense. They've divided their work into 7 technology clusters. It's kind of like, how universities have specialized departments.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and these clusters, they cover a pretty wide spectrum, everything from aeronautics and missiles to, even naval systems and things like soldier support systems.
Soldier support systems, huh? That sounds pretty intriguing. What exactly does that cluster focus on?
It's all about the well-being of our soldiers. I mean, think about it. Even with all the advanced weapons in the world, the human element is, it's still crucial in warfare.
That's true.
So this cluster, they research everything from better protective gear and, more ergonomic equipment to things like nutrition and even psychological support.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they're really taking a holistic approach to soldier preparedness, huh?
They are. They're looking at every aspect of, how to enhance the effectiveness and well-being of our soldiers.
All right, so now let's move on to something a bit more concrete. Let's talk about some of the DRDO's recent achievements. I mean, I understand that they've had some pretty impressive developments just in 2024 alone.
Oh, they have. They've handed over some really cutting-edge systems.
Ooh. Give us some examples.
Well, for one, there's the Air Defense Tactical Control Radar. Now, this radar system, it's specifically designed to counter threats from those low-flying aircraft and those cruise missiles, something that's becoming, increasingly important in modern warfare.
So it's a direct response to those evolving threats we're seeing.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's also the long-range land attack cruise missile. This one significantly boosts India's strike capabilities, no doubt.
Oh, wow. And I also read about this AI tool, Divya Drishti. That almost sounds futuristic.
It is pretty advanced. This AI, it utilizes face recognition and gait analysis, but it goes beyond just identification. It can be used for, well, for behavioral prediction too. Imagine its potential in, say, counterterrorism efforts, identifying potential threats before they even materialize.
That's a real game changer.
It has the potential to be, yeah. And on top of all that, the government has also just recently sanctioned two major flagship programs. These are big ones. We're talking about the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, a huge boost for our Air Force, and also a brand new missile test range.
Brand new missile test range.
Yeah, to keep pace with our, with our growing missile development program.
Sounds like they've got a pretty full plate, huh?
Oh, they do. They do. But they're always up to the challenge.
And speaking of missiles, I think it's finally time for us to turn our attention to Dr. Kalam. He was deeply involved in missile development.
Deeply, deeply involved. I mean, he spearheaded the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program.
On the IGMDP.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bold vision launched back in the 1980s to reduce India's dependence on imported missile technology.
Ah, okay. So that's where it all began.
It was a real turning point, for India. I mean, at the time we were heavily reliant on imports, and that made us vulnerable, both strategically and economically.
So it wasn't just about building missiles. It was about asserting India's independence on the world stage.
Exactly. It was about taking control of our own destiny, when it came to defense. And it wasn't just about quantity either. Dr. Kalam, he didn't just want to, replicate existing technology. He wanted to innovate, to develop cutting-edge missile systems that would really put India at the forefront of defense technology.
And that's exactly what he did, right? We talked a bit about the missiles developed under the IGMDP, the Prithvi, Trishul, Akash, Nag, and Agni. But I'd love to dig a bit deeper into, the specific roles these missiles play in India's defense strategy.
Absolutely. Each one has its own unique capabilities, catering to different operational needs. So let's start with the Prithvi. It's a short-range ballistic missile, primarily used for surface-to-surface attacks. Think of it as a tactical weapon, capable of delivering a powerful punch with pinpoint accuracy against enemy positions within a few hundred kilometers.
So the Prithvi is the workhorse, the reliable option for those targeted strikes.
You could say that, yeah. Now the Trishul, that's a different beast altogether. It's a short-range surface-to-air missile designed to protect our troops and our assets from those aerial threats.
So enemy aircraft, helicopters, even incoming missiles, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So the Trishul is more like the shield, protecting our forces from those attacks coming from the sky.
All right, so we've got the ground attack covered with Prithvi, air defense with Trishul. What else is there?
Well, then we have the Akash. This one is a medium-range surface-to-air missile system. So it operates at higher altitudes, longer ranges compared to the Trishul. It provides a more extended layer of air defense. And its high accuracy, its mobility, it makes it a pretty formidable deterrent against enemy aircraft.
So it seems like we've got air defense pretty well covered with Trishul and Akash working together.
Yeah, you could say that. Now let's move on to the Nag. This one is particularly interesting because it's an anti-tank guided missile.
Anti-tank.
Yes, specifically designed to take out enemy tanks and armored vehicles, even in those challenging terrains.
Ah. So this is where we see Dr. Kalam's focus on innovation really shining through.
Absolutely. The Nag, it has this fire and forget capability. So it locks onto the target and it guides itself even after launch, making it incredibly effective against those moving targets like tanks. It's a testament to the DRDO's ability to develop, those really sophisticated weaponry.
And finally, we come to the Agni. I have to admit, this one really captures the imagination. A family of medium to intercontinental range ballistic missiles. That's some serious firepower.
Oh, the Agni is, it's the crown jewel of the IGMDP, no doubt. These missiles are, they're strategic weapons capable of reaching targets, thousands of kilometers away. The development of the Agni series marked a real turning point for India. It significantly boosted our strategic deterrence and signaled our arrival as a major missile power on the world stage.
And all of this was achieved within a relatively short span of time, right? I mean, thanks to Dr. Kalam's vision and leadership.
It's remarkable, isn't it? But his contributions didn't stop there. He also played a pivotal role at ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization.
Oh, right. ISRO, another pillar of India's uh, technological prowess. What was Dr. Kalam's involvement there? I'm curious.
Well, he was crucial in the development of India's first indigenous satellite launch vehicle, the
The Launch
SLV-3.
Hill-3.
Yeah, and this was back in the early 1980s, a time when, when space technology was, well, it was even more challenging than it is today.
So he wasn't just launching missiles; he was launching satellites into space.
You got it.
Hard to overstate the significance of that achievement.
It was a landmark moment for India. It demonstrated our capability to design, build, and launch our own satellites. We were no longer dependent on other countries for access to space. And it really laid the foundation for ISRO's future successes, with those launch vehicles like the PSLV and the GSLV.
It's a testament to Dr. Kalam's ability well, to bridge that gap between scientific innovation and national development.
He had this knack for identifying areas where technology could be harnessed to solve those real world problems, and to really propel India forward.
And it wasn't just space and missiles either, right? Didn't he play a key role in the Pokhran 2 nuclear tests as well?
He did. He did. He was the chief scientific advisor to the prime minister at the time, so he was right at the heart of planning and executing those tests. A defining moment in India's history, for sure.
I mean, those tests really solidified India's position as a nuclear power. Sends a clear message about our capabilities and our resolve.
Absolutely. It seems like Dr. Kalam was always at the forefront of India's most, those critical scientific and technological advancements.
He was a true visionary, and his vision, it extended beyond beyond specific projects or technologies. He had this grand plan for India's future encapsulated in his famous Vision 2020.
Vision 2020, his roadmap for transforming India into a developed nation by the year 2020. It was ambitious, to say the least. It encompassed everything from agriculture and education to healthcare and infrastructure.
He believed that India had the potential to become a global leader, but it would require a concerted effort, across all sectors, driven by innovation and a commitment to excellence.
And even though we didn't achieve all of those goals by 2020, it set a high bar for the country. It served as a real catalyst for progress.
It was inspiring, that's for sure.
And it's important to remember that Dr. Kalam's vision, it wasn't just about technological advancements for the sake of it. It was about using technology to improve the lives of ordinary people, to empower them, and to create a more equitable society.
He was a true advocate for the power of education and the potential of India's youth.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fascinating to see how he so seamlessly navigated between the worlds of science, technology, and national development.
He was a rare breed, that's for sure. A brilliant scientist, a visionary leader, and a passionate advocate for social progress. His legacy continues to inspire generations of Indians to strive for excellence and to contribute to the nation's growth.
Well said. Well said. We've covered a lot of ground here, exploring Dr. Kalam's his remarkable journey and his profound impact on India's technological landscape.
And we've only just scratched the surface, really. There's so much more to delve into, from his specific contributions to missile technology to his inspiring work in rural healthcare and education.
It's a reminder that even though he's no longer with us, his spirit of innovation and his dedication to national development, well, it continues to live on.
Yeah. It does. His legacy it's a reminder that with determination and a belief in ourselves, we can achieve anything.
That's a powerful message for sure. But before we get too carried away with Dr. Kalam's incredible achievements, let's bring our focus back to the DRDO for a bit.
Back to the DRDO.
Yeah, and explore some of their other notable contributions beyond the IGMDP. I mean, they've had a hand in developing some pretty impressive hardware, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot to unpack there, from advancements in combat aircraft and naval systems to cutting edge research in areas like cyber defense and artificial intelligence.
Yeah, let's start with with those combat aircraft. What are some of the standout achievements there?
Well, one example that really comes to mind is the light combat aircraft Tejas.
Tejas, yeah, that's the one we see doing those impressive maneuvers in the in the air shows, right?
Exactly. It's really become a symbol of, of made in India defense technology.
It has. But how does it actually, stack up against those international competitors? I mean, it looks good, but is it really a capable fighter jet?
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, the Tejas, it's designed to be, a lightweight, agile fighter, ideal for air combat and ground attack missions.
I see. Yeah.
And it incorporates those advanced technologies, like fly-by-wire control systems and composite materials, which really put it on par with many of those contemporary fighter jets out there.
So it's not just a symbolic achievement. Then it's actually a capable aircraft in its own right.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's a testament to the DRDO's expertise in aeronautical engineering and to India's growing self-reliance when it comes to fighter jet technology.
Okay. What about other areas? I'm thinking, like artillery systems, naval systems. Have they made any notable advancements there?
Definitely, definitely. In artillery, you have the Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launcher.
Naka.
Yeah, it provides incredible firepower, capable of saturating target areas with just a barrage of rockets.
Oh, wow.
And in naval systems, the DRDO has made significant contributions to our submarine warfare capabilities. They've developed those advanced sonar systems like Humsa and Noggin.
Sonar system.
Yeah, and these sonars they play a crucial role in detecting and tracking those underwater threats. They give our submarines a significant advantage in the depths of the ocean.
So they're not just focused on on the high tech weaponry. They're also bolstering our more conventional capabilities.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's about having a well-rounded defense force capable of responding to a wide range of threats.
Makes sense. Now, what about the Arjun main battle tank? I remember reading about that, but haven't really heard much about it lately.
Yeah, the Arjun. That's a project that's been in development for a while now, and it's faced its share of challenges along the way, but it is a powerful and sophisticated tank designed to meet the specific needs of the Indian Army.
Okay.
And it incorporates those advanced features, like composite armor and a computerized fire control system.
All right. It seems like every time I turn around, there's another DRDO development, making headlines. It really underscores their impact on India's defense capabilities.
They're constantly pushing the boundaries, of what's possible.
They are. Now we can't forget about those unmanned aerial systems, those drones. The DRDO has been they've been at the forefront of that that rapidly evolving field, right?
Well, absolutely. They've developed systems like Laksha, which is a reusable aerial target system, for training purposes, and then you have Nishant, which is a multi-mission UAV for surveillance and reconnaissance.
So they're keeping pace with those those latest trends in drone warfare.
Oh yeah, they are. They're making sure that our armed forces aren't left behind.
But it's not just about keeping pace, though, right? It's about pushing the boundaries.
Exactly. And the DRDO is actively involved in research on those cutting edge technologies, like artificial intelligence, hypersonic missiles, and even directed energy weapons. I mean, these are the technologies that are going to shape the future of warfare.
They are. And that brings us to a pretty crucial question then. What does the future hold for the DRDO and for India's defense capabilities as a whole?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, we live in a world of rapidly evolving threats, everything from cyber warfare to space-based weapons. The DRDO is going to need to adapt, to innovate, to really stay ahead of the curve.
It's a big challenge, but it seems like they're well equipped to handle it.
They are. They have a proven track record of success.
They do. Well, I think we've given our listeners a pretty comprehensive overview here. The DRDO's remarkable journey from its from its humble beginnings to its current status as a leading force in defense research and development.
And we've also explored the incredible legacy of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, whose vision and leadership played such a pivotal role in shaping not just the DRDO but really India's technological landscape as a whole.
It's a story of innovation, determination, and a truly unwavering commitment to national security. And
Mhm.
for our listeners out there who are preparing for the UPSC exams, it's a reminder that defense technology and its impact on India's strategic posture is it's a crucial area of study.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Understanding the DRDO, its achievements, and its future trajectory, it's essential for anyone who's aiming to analyze India's role in that evolving global landscape.
Couldn't agree more. Well, a huge thank you to our expert for sharing their insights, and to you, our listeners, for joining us on this fascinating deep dive into the world of the DRDO and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to those UPSC exams.
That's right.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with your fellow UPSC aspirants. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.